So let's take a look inside, and we'll look at that amazing lobby.
I'm right behind you. See, that's an entrance now. You come into this lobby with the marble floor and the very tall 2-story ceilings and all the molding work and the chandeliers. Now this was redone. This was redone in the 80s, but they kept the height and they kept the perspective, which is really kind of an amazing thing. It has original entrance was around the corner here, which was where the front desk was. There was actually 3 entrances. There's one off Broadway, and this one, which is still there on 74th Street, and the one we just came through on 73rd Street. And there was a restaurant on the 2nd floor. There was a pool down in the basement.
This is the original building.
The original building. There was a big fountain here, and they had seals in it for about 1 year, because after 1 year they decided that seals were really bad because they smelled bad. They kept biting people. It was really a problem, so they made them go away.
Oh my gosh!
But it was that kind of a building. They had a farm up on the roof with chickens and cows, so they could have fresh eggs and dairy for the restaurant downstairs here.
It was like a little utopia.
It was that for a moment or two.
Wow.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
A lot of famous people lived here. Babe Ruth, notably, Toscanini, Stravinsky, Lou Gehrig very briefly. Flo Ziegfeld lived here for a while. And they could hang out at the bar. There was a restaurant, and it was a big deal in its time. It's really amazing, by the way, come this way, that there's people here from when I was here in the building. Hi, Conal. Nice to see you, Dimitri. How are you? So this would have been the original entrance. It would have broken all the way through to Broadway. And there was, what is the desk would have been here. And it was just more, think of like a grand hotel. That's because it was that population coming and going. One thing that Mark did, that's the manager and my friend, he built this display which has all the memorabilia, or some, of the people who lived here, old postcards, kind of a display enshrined to Babe Ruth, a signed baseball.
Wow.
He's a famous person. Some silverware from the original dining room and the service. And if you had people over and wanted to have people up into your apartment for dinner, this service would show up on a tray. And someone would come up and set your table and pull up the dumbwaiter and get food from the restaurant and serve it out to you. It was kind of incredible in its moment. So once upon a time, these stairs opened up completely to the lobby. Yeah, that's the right. If you come in here and look straight up, you can see up 16, 17 stories in this repeating rounded rectangle, I guess it is. The stairs are very worn and very beautiful. They're marble. And you know, they've been here 120 years, and so you get this incredible feel of all the people who use them. When this, in its heyday, people used these instead of coming, there's 6 elevators out here, but they didn't depend on them. They loved these stairs.
You kind of have been around all of this history, and when I think of 1903 and I think of the decades that follow and this kind of like grandeur of New York, I also think of like noir films and these kinds of things.
Just about. 03, you are in the beginning of the film industry, and so, yep, it leads in. But even into the 20s and the silence, there was a lot of famous people coming in here. For a time, film industry was actually in New Jersey, Edison's place in New Jersey. And so New York was, in fact, the first place where films were made. Soon, they liked California better because the weather was better. They didn't have snow and rain. And so,
babies.
In the beginning, this was what they were doing, and places like this were just wonderful. Celebrities loved it. Then could come. This is a long-term hotel. So they would come and live as opposed to just visit. That changed in about 1930.
Okay.
And then it became a regular hotel for a brief period of time.
Can't have been too good of a year, 1930.
No, that's kind of what happened. It was a mess. It was a mess. So.
Well, it's such a rich. Such a place with a rich history and such a beautiful place for your imagination to kind of run wild. So I see why that makes an impact on the novels.
Definitely. I mean, just the idea of coming in here every day and seeing the height of the ceilings and feeling everything about it. So the descriptions was most fun to do. The description of walking into one of the apartments, which obviously is the apartment I lived in, and the dimensions of it, the feel of it, and how we renovated it back with great care back to what it was in 1903. Because during time, it had been cut up into smaller apartments. That's when this building was in trouble. And that would be 1970s, notably. And it recovered with a lot of effort and messy times, but it recovered.